Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the little delay. Had us a few technical difficulties, but we are back with another edition of News in Motion. Today is Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. Happy Hump Day, everyone, especially for all of our hardworking people out there, aka me. I'm kidding, but happy Hump Day to everyone out there. Whether you are tuning in live here at 7:28, 7:25 a.m., we just want to say thank you for all your support. If you are catching the replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or at the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for all your support. Whatever platform you're tuning in from, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, for our audio and podcast listeners, y'all know what we say over here. Thank you for turning those dials to Hot 97 News in Motion for your relevant commentary and calls to action news. Of course, in a few moments, we'll be joined by Miss Gail Deli, but we have a guest today. We have a special guest today, so make sure that you stay tuned throughout the entire show because you are going to want to hear what she has to say. It is one of our esteemed viewers, Miss Stephanie Burbridge Hall, who will be joining us here momentarily as well. So how is everybody doing so far in the middle of this week? I see you, Miss Kim Edmondson, tuning in through YouTube. Good morning to you, Miss Adrian. Good morning, Miss Deborah Johnson, who is tuning in through Facebook. Good morning, Miss Camille Jones. Good morning, Jeff Payne, who is tuning in through Facebook as well. And good morning, Dr. Antoinette Skies. So, without further delay, y'all know what we do here. Let's get ready for some news in motion.
News in motion.
Hey, what's up, everyone? And again, thank you. We were having just a little difficulty, but here we are. It's all good. I see my brother, Louis Pryor III, in here. Shirley Nicholson, good morning. Hester Jackson, good morning to you. Shardinia, good morning. Tracy Comey, what's up, girlfriend? Coming in from LinkedIn. Robert Holman, good morning. I see you, Marion Jackson, good morning. Y'all, we want to spend the majority of today talking about suicide prevention. If you know anyone who may need to tune in, go ahead and hit them up now. Send them a text message. Let them know they can either come to our Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. It's probably easiest to go to YouTube, which is youtube.com/Gail Dudley. We'll put that in the chat so y'all can share that with everyone. I do have a few quick headlines I want to share before I bring on our guest. Again, if you have anyone, we're going to focus the majority of this broadcast on suicide prevention. If you know anyone who may need this information, please have them tune in now. Here's some quick headlines. Isaiah said this yesterday being funny, but somebody came out with it. So Jenny got the message, y'all. Jenny's Ice Cream is now offering sweet potato marshmallow brulee as their fall classic. I can't wait to go grab some of this. It is sweet potatoes roasted with Vietnamese cinnamon and nutmeg, a swirl of marshmallow, sweet cream, and burnt sugar candies. You can order your pints now and be shipped directly to you. And they ain't paid me to say any of that. And I did say ain't. They have not paid me to say any of that, but I'm just so excited to see that this is on their menu. All right, y'all, the Federal Trade Commission in 17 states came for Amazon. They have leveled an antitrust lawsuit against Amazon, stating that they have created and maintained an online e-commerce monopoly. They just now catching up with that. The 172-page suit alleges, and I have not read all 172 pages, but it's an interesting read so far, that the company abused its position in the marketplace, leveraging its platform to prevent sellers from selling their goods for lower prices on other sites. Now, I know that's true because I have books on Amazon And if Barnes and Noble wants to do a sale on my books, they cannot go beyond below Amazon's prices. It's some crazy stuff. So I sometimes lose out with my royalties when it comes to that. So I know this to be true. I see you, Jacqueline. I see you, Donita. Good morning. Y'all, real quick, the former guy, the judge in New York, state of New York, found Donald Trump and his older sons liable for fraud in the state of New York, just days before the former president was set to go to trial against a New York state attorney. The judge granting New York Attorney General Letitia James motion for summary judgment. Now, in this judgment, that means you don't need a trial. Found Trump and his sons to be liable. Yeah. Among some of the charges, y'all, how he even valued his property. He said that Trump Tower was anywhere from 114 million to 207 million. They said that's not true. The civil case asked for 250 million in damages and blocking the Trumps from ever holding leadership positions in New York businesses. Well, there's that. We're going to see how that continues to unfold. And then finally, in Alabama, everyone, Alabama is headed to its first significant revamp of its congressional map in 3 decades after the U.S. Supreme Court rejected the state's bid to keep using a plan with the single majority Black district. So a lot is going on there as well. I see you, Latrice Jones. I see you, Regina Shorts. I see you all coming in here. All right, y'all. I want to dedicate the rest of our time, and I want y'all to be ready to ask some questions as well. One of our own viewers, Stephanie Burbridge Hall, she is with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Ohio board member. She's also Out of the Darkness Walk chairperson. You're going to hear more about that in a few moments. But we wanted to really focus. This is Suicide Prevention Month. We know we are at September the 27th, but it's never too late to share and have this discussion. Now, she is a dedicated, efficient instructor with 10 years of experience in higher education, teaching human resources, business administration, interpersonal skills, and first-year seminar. She has a 15-year suicide prevention advocacy, love, passion, mental health awareness trainer and advocate devoted to making a difference in the lives of our communities. She has applied suicide intervention skills training certified trainer, military personnel, Talk Save Lives faith-based community trainer, Safe Talk certified trainer, and the list goes on. She has held numerous board positions, Franklin County Children's Services, Malika mentor and volunteer, Kappa volunteer. She's had presentations on WCMH Channel 4, the Columbus Dispatch, ABC, WJYD, Homeport Voices, and more. She comes with a wealth of information, education, if y'all need all that. Capella University, doctoral degree in business. She's in that currently. University of Phoenix, master's degree. Ohio Dominican University, bachelor's degree. And then she also received an associate's degree. So a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information. So if Isaiah can bring Stephanie on in this morning. I see you, Susan. Good morning. And good morning, Karen. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I want us to jump in, and I want to start with this statement from Secretary Basira, the National Suicide Awareness Month. She is the Health and Human Services Secretary. Nearly 12 million investment in a suicide prevention program. This National Suicide Awareness Month, we are reminded that suicide is preventable and no one should go through a crisis alone. She goes on to talk about in the distressing to note that in 2021, per the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration National Survey on Drug Use and Health, roughly 12.3 million adults and 3.3 million adolescents had serious suicidal thoughts. And the Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported that suicide was the second leading cause of death of young and young adults. This data underscores the need for action. They go on to talk about the Biden-Harris administration and their commitment talks about the 12 million to zero suicide in health systems programs. They said, but no program exemplifies the work to prevent suicide better than the hotline 988, the 3-digit suicide crisis lifeline, which Health and Human Services launched in collaboration with the states in 2022. She says, in the end, what these programs, initiatives, and investments come down to is saving lives and helping people thrive. Because again, no one should go through it alone. They go on in the statement, it says confidential help is available and together we can prevent suicide. Again, September being Suicide Prevention Month. I know we're at the end, but I still wanted to get this in here. But it's not just for this month. This month, at any point in the time, we're to bring awareness. But these are things and tools and resources that we can carry on every day of our life. So again, thank you, Stephanie, for joining us this morning right here on News in Motion. So I want to jump in and ask this first question. What is the significance of National Suicide Awareness Month, and how can we help raise awareness about suicide prevention from this point forward?
The significance is it's devoted. September is really devoted to recognize those who have lived experience and those that we have lost. And to promote wellness, mental health, wellness. The goal is to spread hope and prevention that will help people that are affected by suicide, such as my family. When we lost my brother in 1999, and that's what allowed me to get on to this advocacy and determination for families not to receive the pain that we received when we lost time.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. Okay, we're hearing that you're echoing. So Isaiah, go to the private chat, Stephanie, if you can see that, and Isaiah will tell you how to clear the echo. Hopefully we can do that. And y'all just be patient with us. Be patient with us, because this information is information that we truly need in this season. And as they're working on that, the statement mentions that suicide was the second leading cause of death among youth and young adults. What specific measures are being taken to address this alarming statistic? Because when I read this statement, and I know you and I were together a few Sundays ago out at Mamie Moore Park here in Central Ohio, it was like these numbers are not only staggering, they're also perplexing. I felt this overall just sense of grief come over me. And my immediate reaction was, what can we do? Like, what can we do? So what specific measures are being taken to address these alarming statistics?
Right now, can you hear? Okay, I just wanted to share that numerous programs available through education.
Now you're going out. Hold on 1 second, Stephanie. Hold on 1 second. Y'all be patient with us. We're trying to figure out what the technical difficulty is. Stephanie, what I want you to do, we're going to have Isaiah take you offline. He's going to text you how to get the echo out. And I'm going to give some more headline news. Everyone, please just be patient with us. Please be patient with us. So we're going to do that. So Isaiah, take her off, try to get that echo out, and we're going to keep going. I want to go back to something that we talked about on yesterday. Y'all, again, just be patient with us. It's going to work out. It's all good. We can be chilled. It's not a big deal. I want to go back to something we talked about on yesterday. And I did complete the article for the narrative, the landscape, the complex landscape of Black Republicans who are running for office or changing from one party to the next. And that is, and that's on my Medium post. And you can go to medium.com. medium.gaildudley.com to get that article. But I want to go back to something. It's because there's so many people who are looking for leadership roles, and they're saying that it's difficult to break through in the landscape on the Democratic Party side. And I'm trying to understand why it's difficult. A lot of people are saying it's like landlocked. No one wants you in. They only want who they want to put in those spaces. And you have to be so free that you don't turn away from that, but you say, okay, I'm either going to run for as an independent, I'm going to run for the Green Party, or I'm going to look at another party that's different than what I'm used to and how I'm moving along. So I just wanted to go back to that to say, do not be afraid to venture out and to do something that's going to make a difference for you. The narrative out there, I mean, I've been very forthright here on News in Motion over the past 3 years. I split tickets all the time. I do, because it's about research and understanding the people that we're dealing with. And I think we have Stephanie back, but let me say this one last thing about that as she goes back out. This technical difficulty is very interesting, but she's coming. She's coming. But the thing is, we have to be open to hear the person and their platform. Maybe they have some answers. Maybe they can help tear down some of the walls in these different parties. So we need to again attend town hall meetings, not only attend town hall meetings, but also find out what they have to offer and ask the necessary questions. Don't shy away from that. I think we have Stephanie, so I'm gonna bring her back in. Isaiah, if you can bring her back in. Okay, there you are. Yay.
Does that sound better?
It's somewhat. It's still weird, but we're gonna get through this. I just need all y'all praying people to pray her through this. Okay, I just need y'all pray her through this. So tell us your story, Stephanie. You told us about your brother, why you really got involved in suicide prevention. What are some signs that we can look for when we're talking to our friends, our family, our coworkers, or seeing people? What are some signs that we can look for?
So the signs we look for is individuals that are heavy burden. They feel trapped. You could tell that, and they talk about they feel like to live behavior are different where they don't sleep. They may actually they withdraw from their family, their activity. They give away as well.
Okay.
In alcohol.
So what we're hearing, because she's still cutting off some kind of way. Stephanie, we don't know if your microphone is being covered or what, because we're only getting every other word.
Okay.
So she's saying look for alcohol abuse if a person is sleeping or not sleeping. She mentioned that. She mentioned to look at their mood, what's going on with them, stay in that conversation with them. Keep going, Stephanie. Let's see if we got your microphone together. Keep going.
Can you tell?
It's still choppy, but keep going.
Okay. Also, they try ways to take. They are irrational. They depression. They're anxiety. And they do things on impulse. So those are some that can identify people that are at risk.
Okay. Y'all, this is very important. So go ahead and take her off, Isaiah. This is very important information, and we're going to figure out how we can bring her back to still share this story. There's some technical difficulties on her side, and all we can do is apologize for that. So let me give y'all some more headline news, and what we'll do is try to reschedule Stephanie for another time. Stephanie, if you have more than one device open, maybe you need to close one down. Shirley Nicholson is suggesting. But y'all, this is too important not to have this discussion. Sometimes technical difficulties will try to ruin the morning, but we can keep going. So I told y'all about Trump and the judge. Congress is up against the clock to keep the government open. That headline we need to really deal with as well. We have been receiving prayer requests from some of our viewers asking people to please pray that the government does not go into a shutdown. They're talking about the millions of people and the people who are connected to this government shutdown and no pay, back pay. There are different banks out there. I want to share with you all. There are different banks. You would have to check with your bank. I'm not going to name them here, but there are different banks who did the same thing a few years ago when the government shut down for a moment. And that was that they still deposit money into your account. And then what you had to do when the pay came through was to pay the bank back. Check with your bank on that. If it goes to a government shutdown. There were also many people who built businesses during the last shutdown. The two women in Baltimore, Maryland, who started a bakery, they're still doing well. So maybe this is an opportunity for you to go ahead and move forward with your business as well. And then other things that are going on, the writers' strike came to an end this morning. Thousands of film and television writers will be able to go back to work as of this morning after their union finalized a tentative agreement with studio executives to end the nearly 5-month strike. So let's celebrate that. The Writers Guild of America called the deal exceptional, with gains and protections for members in every sector of the business, including strict regulations for the use of artificial intelligence on cover projects. So that is happening. I also want to go to, I've been putting this off for so long, and y'all can tell this, right? This is how, for anyone who's wanting to do this, this is how you put things together. You make sure that you always have, if you have a guest, technical difficulties can arise, but you always make sure you have everything together that when it comes time for you to have to make a shift, you make that shift. So I love what I do. I'm sure y'all can tell that by now. I love what I do. So it's great to put things together and go from there. Like what we're going to do next. How is this going to come through? What is this going to look like? So I've been talking about this whole thing with the Federal Reserve. And I've been putting it off for, I don't know how many weeks now. I've been putting it off because I was trying to determine, I'm pulling up my notes now. I was trying to determine how I wanted to roll this out and the importance of it. And I think for so many of us, we do not realize what it looks like when it comes to the Federal Reserve. Well, we're talking about voting. And did y'all know that the president, I didn't know this, the president of the United States appoints the people to serve on the Federal Board Commission. Did y'all know that? The Federal Reserve Commission. Did y'all know that? And we have to dig into that because again, here is a position that's voting other people in. And when you look at this vote board has 8 people that serve on this. This vote board has 8 people to serve on this. And when they're serving in this position, they're making determinations about our money. Hello, somebody, about our money. So it's been really fascinating to learn a lot about this Federal Reserve. So right now, even in the stock market, they say September is crazy when it comes to the stock market. You really can't trust September because you have a lot of dividends that may be coming up, their end of the quarter report, their earnings, and so forth. And if y'all remember last week on last Wednesday, the Federal Reserve held. They did not go up a percentage point, go down a percentage point, anything. They just held it. But the stocks are still somewhat rocky for the simple fact that they're waiting to hear what the Federal Reserve is going to do. So some of us were like, well, people are spending, so why would you keep changing things? Y'all, that is a dynamic landscape that I hope you all hear me when I say, when you're dealing with things, and this is something I've learned doing News in Motion. You start digging into information. When you learn some things, it's like, so this is what's happening with my money. We need to, I don't know if Latrice is on here today or not, as we've been talking about lately, we need to read. We really need to understand when we look at our bank account, or when we're looking at our paycheck, or when we're looking at a contract, or when we're looking at investments, y'all, when we're looking at what I call the financial world, we need to look at inflation, our taxes, our health, our long-term care. Some of these things we don't even recognize, and we're not even interested in. All of these things fall onto also residual income. Hello, somebody. All of these fall under the Federal Reserve. The money that's moving, the benefits and everything that's moving, that when you start thinking, well, what is the interest, the percentage of my interest rate? Why are some banks able to offer a 4.5% interest and other banks are only offering 0.3%? What's the difference here? Or 0.03%? Why can't all banks do that? Why are some banks charging a $35 return check fee and other banks are not charging anything? What's the difference between a corporate bank and a community bank, which is like your credit unions? Y'all, the Federal Reserve breaks all of that down. Like, it is amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I want to take some of y'all's questions too, but it is mind blowing. Let me give you this. This is a statement from last Wednesday. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace. Job gains have slowed in recent months, but remain strong. And the unemployment rate has remained low. Inflation remains elevated. Y'all, right there, you need to figure out, this doesn't make sense. Like, make this make sense. How can it be that job gains have slowed, but remain strong? Unemployment rate has remained low, but inflation remains elevated. Y'all, right there, we should be asking questions. Like, yeah, make that make sense. Then to go and say the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient. Tighter credit conditions for households and businesses are likely to weigh on economic activity, hiring, and inflation. The extent of these effects remain uncertain. The committee remains attentive to inflation risk. They go on to talk about the different percentage rate. The inflation rate of 2% over a longer run. In support of these goals, the committee talked about the federal funds rates at 5 1/4 to 5.5%. The committee continues to assess additional information. Right there, I had to go be nosy. Like, okay, what additional information are you seeking? And I found it. They're looking at the appropriations, the policy firming. They were looking at the UAW. If they were going on strike, they're looking at if the government is going to shut down. They're looking at all of these things, y'all. The committee will take into account, check this out, y'all, monetary policy. So, of course, I had to ask the question, well, what's the monetary policy? Y'all, these are the things we have to understand. Y'all, this is like a wealth of information. I get real excited about it. So hold on. And I did find out. It's like, what is the monetary policy? Well, y'all, this is the lags when it comes to monetary economic activity and inflation. So they're looking at the highs and the lows. They're looking at the purchase of power of people. Do y'all know that women purchase 70% of what's happening out there in retail? Women, yeah, women. And by the way, women 59 and older. Just thought I'd let y'all know that too. The economic and financial development. Now, the committee will continue to reduce its holdings of Treasury securities. Well, what holdings? What are you holding on to? And what's the percentage of that? Which I haven't been able to find out yet, but let's keep looking. In assessing the appropriate stance of monetary policy, the committee will continue to monitor the implications of incoming information for the economic outlook. So here are the voting people, the voting for monetary policy actions. Jerome Powell, chair. John C. Williams, vice chair. Michael S. Barr, Michelle Baumann, Lisa Cook, Austin Goolsbee, Patrick Harker, Philip Jefferson. Then you have extra people, Neil Kaskari, Adrian Kugler, Lori Logan, and Christopher Waller. Did y'all even know those people exist? All we hear about is Powell, right? Well, y'all, there's some other people in play here, okay? So the Federal Open Market Committee, that's called the FOMC. Y'all know I like to do quizzes, so write this down. FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee. Now, eight members of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System are nominated by the president and confirmed by the Senate. A full term, I want y'all to hear this, a full term is 14 years. 14 years. So once you're on you have 14 years, you can hang out on this Federal Reserve Committee. What? Why is that even true? Now let's talk about the structure. Y'all know I gotta get real nosy lately, and it's exciting. The structure, you have the Federal Open Market Committee, that's the FMOC. You have the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve, appointed by the president, and you have the Federal Reserve Banks, okay? So let's go back earlier this year when banks were falling away by the wayside, and they were paying all this money back into these banks. Well, you controlled them anyway. So how did that ever happen? Why did we not ask these difficult questions when these things were happening? I'll tell you why, because we didn't know. I didn't know either. We didn't know. So are y'all still with me? I don't see any chat going on. I don't even know what's happened here. So the board appointment, each board member of the Board of Elections is appointed for 14-year terms. The terms are staggered so that one term expires on January 31st of each even numbered years. And after serving a 14-year term, a board member may not be reappointed. Kim Edmondson says, I'm here. So y'all, board responsibilities. I need to give y'all this. The board oversees the operation of the 12 reserve banks. Again, how did these banks go by the wayside? How did y'all get to a place where you had to give all this money back to these banks to keep them afloat? If you are overseeing the operation of these 12 reserve banks, is it that you didn't do your job? Let's talk about that. The board also provides general guidance, direction, and oversight when the reserve banks lend to depository institutions, and others when the reserve banks provide federal financial services to depository institutions. I kept reading that line. I said, y'all just really repeated yourself. So I start digging, right? Because I'm nosy, right? And that's their format. So you're overseeing the same people you're overseeing, but you're overseeing them twice. Make that make sense. Because I don't get it. I don't get it. The board also has a broad oversight responsibility for the operations and activity of the Federal Reserve banks. Well, you just said that. So what's the real deal, y'all? And that's basically their position description. So you're overseeing what? So I got nosy. I had to keep looking. I got to connect dots. So y'all, you have the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System Organization. You have the Division of Board Members. You have the Division of Consumer and Consumer Affairs. All of these feed into each other, y'all. I didn't know this. This is amazing. You have the Office of the Chief Operating Officer. You have the Division of Financial Management, Division of Financial Stability, Division of International Finance, Division of Information Technology, Legal Division, Division of Monetary Affairs, Division of Management, Office of Inspector General, Office of Secretary, Division of Research and Statistics, Division of Reserve Bank Operation and Payment System, and the Division of Supervision and Regulation. Boom. I looked at, and I had to go look at every job description because I'm nosy lately. I wanted to get an understanding. And I said, what do they do? Exactly what do they do? Except for the title, what do they do? And why are we losing at this rate? And why are people being strapped? Where is this coming from? Do the regulators need regulators? Y'all know that's my question lately. Do the regulators need regulators? Do they need regulating? So y'all, when I look at this, I come back down to who's in charge and when will those in Congress, so I attach this to Congress, Well, Congress, you're looking at Hunter Biden. You're looking and talking to Pete Buttigieg, and you're looking and bringing in people to talk about different things. But are you looking at how this is structured and how people are finding themselves quickly in poverty, how the marginalized people are staying marginalized, and how that 1% continues to become the most wealthiest people in the world? Are we paying attention to how the money is moving from banks? Are we looking at the fees and the taxes and everything else that's coming from this? There's a lot to unpack here. Yes, Shirley, too many divisions. Yes, Kim, that's why we can never get anything done in the government. Yes, wasting taxpayer time and dollar. Yeah, there's a whole lot here. Somebody did not do their job. All of that. Dr. Annette, they couldn't have done their jobs. There's a lot here. And I know we're running out of time this morning, but I want all of you to go check out federalreserve.gov. federalreserve.gov and read this for yourself. Have some time. Make sure you're looking at the Federal Reserve System, the Federal Reserve Board, the Federal Reserve Banks, and the Federal Open Market Committee. I want y'all to look at all that. That's, again, federalreserve.gov. Again, we're going to try to figure out how to get Stephanie back on here. That's an important conversation that we need. Hopefully we can work through the technical difficulties. And again, we apologize on our end. We were in the green room. Dr. Annette says this needs more conversation. Yeah, we do. Yeah, that's why I kept putting it off, because I was like, we may need a whole segment to talk about the Federal Reserve banks. Absolutely. We were in the green room before the show started and everything was working. So we're not sure what happened, but we're going to make sure we find a way to bring her back. Even if it happens next month, we still need to understand suicide prevention. We still need to understand that. All right, y'all, for just a quick word of inspiration before we go anywhere, we can take today's segment. Never give up. Never give up. Don't let things rattle you. If something doesn't work out, okay, keep it moving. Keep it moving and keep a smile on your face while you're doing it. Stephanie, if you're listening, stay encouraged, girl. We're going to fix all that. It's all good. It's okay. It's going to be perfect time. And I still want that hope t-shirt, though. And we have an opportunity, and I think Isaiah has the link if he can put that up. We have an opportunity to join the walk. It's the link, Isaiah, right underneath. Yes, there it is. I want y'all to go to that website and join the walk if you're in Central Ohio. If you want to fly in and walk with us, the News in Motion will have a walk team on that day. And I don't have the date in front of me. I was going to ask Stephanie that question, but we will get all that information to you. We'll be in October. It is a Saturday, I do believe. But we want to gather together and walk and support the efforts that they're doing. So y'all, until tomorrow, I need all of y'all to stay well. I need y'all to keep moving. I need you all to make some bold moves and to live your life in abundance. We're out.
NewsInMotion.